Every second, countless cataclysms are playing out across the universe. In galaxies near and far, stars explode, collide, and do other weird things that often go unseen. As these cataclysms play out, they emit tremendous amounts of light that can be observed by our telescopes. Each type of cataclysm emits light in different ways. Some may emit more blue light than others, and some might be fast, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. These differences allow us to classify the types of these cataclysms we call transients, and piece together the physics behind their extreme explosions. One common class of these cosmic cataclysms is the death of a massive star known as a supernova. These explosions are bright for weeks to years before fading away forever. With modern optical survey telescopes, we find thousands of supernovae per year, and many other transients that remain bright for more than a few days at a time. In stark contrast, we've seen very few transients that might explode and disappear in less than a day. It could be that there is no mechanism in the universe that make these explosions happen, or it could be that our telescopes just haven't found them yet. To find fast cataclysms, you need to take pictures at least 3 times faster than they are. Most of our survey telescopes only take one image of the sky per night, so they can only really study cataclysms that are bright for at least a few days. To discover something that might explode and disappear within an hour, we would need to take images at least every 20 minutes. Generally, the faster the images are taken, the better we can understand fast evolving cataclysms. But there are trade-offs. The Deeper, Wider, Faster survey uses over 70 telescopes to rapidly image a small patch of sky, searching for transients that might last less than a second. In this case, speed was traded for area on the sky, since their main goal is to search for optical counterparts to fast radio bursts. If we turn our attention to a telescope in space, we can do something similar to Deeper, Wider, Faster and search the entire sky. NASA's TESS space telescope was launched in 2018 and has been rapidly imaging enormous sections of the sky since then. TESS was built to look for planets around other stars, but we can also use this data to search for cataclysms that may well be destroying planets around distant stars. While TESS hasn't been imaging the sky as fast as Deeper, Wider, Faster, it has been imaging at 30 minutes, 10 minutes, and 200 seconds. Definitely fast enough to hunt for short explosions. For 6 years now, I've been working towards searching through all TESS data to discover new types of fast cataclysms, and now I need help to find them. My research group has created code to search through TESS data and pick out everything that changes in brightness, but a lot of things change their brightness all across the entire sky. When searching for transients, we subtract a reference image from all other images. Everything that doesn't change in brightness disappears, and the points of light that remain are from objects that do change in brightness. We pull these objects out of the images and look at how their brightness changes over time in something known as a light curve. These light curves tell us a lot about how something exploded. Here's a nice case of a transient light curve observed by TESS. It fluctuates around 0 with random noise, but then it jumps up in brightness for a short time before fading back to noise. Now, this isn't what the light curves of all fast transients look like, but in general they should fade away slower than they rise, unless it's something strange like a rare microlensing event. In this search, we're working through hundreds of terabytes of data with the OzStar supercomputer at Swinburne University, and it's detecting hundreds of thousands of events. Despite our best efforts, not everything that is detected is a real transient. Many are detections of asteroids, new variable stars, and just detections of junk data. We have some machine learning methods in place to catch variable stars, for example, but since we don't yet know what the zoo of possible fast transient light curves might look like, we aren't using machine learning to find them just yet. So that leaves us with the best classifying machines available: humans. The trouble is that there is an enormous amount of data and only so many classifications that my small team can do alone. Personally, I've looked at many thousands of our detections, but hundreds of thousands is much more than that. So this is where I need your help. We've built a Zooniverse project called Cosmic Cataclysms to let citizen scientists help us classify and understand what we're finding in TESS data. The project is open to everyone and it just launched today. The way it works is that you'll be shown a figure like this one here, which asks you to classify as either transient, asteroid, variable star, junk, or a weird thing / not sure. The figure has a few different components to it. On the left side is the light curve. At the bottom we have the full TESS light curve, and at the top in the red insert is a zoom in to the part of the light curve where our code thinks something interesting is happening. The specific event is highlighted in orange, and this is the part we need to classify. On the right hand side are some images to help us understand if the code has picked up a real event. We have two cutouts from TESS images centered on the location of interest. TESS has pretty bad spatial resolution, so real sources look like very blocky circles, just a few pixels across. Bad detections, on the other hand, like this one here, can have a variety of shapes. This time series of images is here to help us to decide if the detected object is an asteroid. Since asteroids don't move across the sky at the same rate as the stars, we see their positions change even in just 1 hour. In this example, we see that the light curve is quite symmetric on its rise and fall, and in the images we see that the position of the bright source shifts between the two. This is an example of a nice bright asteroid, however they're often much fainter and noisier, so you need to be careful of picking out if it's an asteroid or something else. If instead of moving between the two images, the source is a bit fainter or is completely gone in the second image, then it's probably not an asteroid. So that's the general premise. You look at the image and classify it. There is more information available in the tutorial and field guide to help you make the right classification. You can also discuss objects and science with members of my team and other citizen scientists. With this project, we're really exploring a new time domain in astronomy. I don't know what we might find, and that is the really exciting part to me. If we do discover new types of transients, they could give us fresh insights into how stars and compact objects like neutron stars and black holes behave in the most extreme circumstances. In 2023, I gave lectures talking about the science behind this project across New Zealand, and the last one is uploaded to this channel. I've left a link to that video in the description if you want to learn more about the science behind this program. Any time people can offer here is incredibly helpful. With everyone's classifications, we can make a clean set of transients to search for new cosmic cataclysms. Already in testing, I've come across 3 newly discovered dwarf novae. And that's just with a tiny subset of the total data. Who knows what could be hiding in the entire dataset? I've been working towards this for a long time now, and I owe a lot of the recent progress to the fantastic students in my research group. I'm incredibly excited to see what we'll find and to share this project with the world. I hope you'll join us in our search for cosmic cataclysms.